What is up, fam without the illy? Fat guy with a webcam, fatguywithawebcam.com here. And we're back with another rant. If this is your first time here, welcome. So before we jump into the topic, which you see in the title, for those of my hockey people out there, I am a Rangers fan and I am also a San Jose Sharks fan. So I know people are like, you can't like two teams, but I do. Okay? Anyway, let's jump into the topic because I just wanted to get that out of the way. So, when girls meet or hook up or date or marry a guy that they know is an asshole, that he's a jerk, right? Like, they know this from the start. But they still end up dating that person anyway, okay? And what happens is 90% of the time, maybe a little bit more, they get hurt emotionally, physically, verbally, okay? It happens a lot. We've all seen it. In fact, you might be the victim of one of those situations, okay? And hey, the same thing goes for a guy with a girl, or a girl with a girl, guy with a guy, whatever everyone's doing these days. I want to make sure no one gets offended. But anytime you are with a what everyone's calling now toxic person, you knew what you were getting into. A lot of people feel like, I'm going to change that person. One thing I've learned about people in life and changing people is you cannot change someone that does not want to change themselves, okay? Whether that's getting healthy, quitting smoking, quitting drinking, eating bad foods, whatever, Like, for instance, me. If I completely just want to get super thin, I can say to myself, you know what? I'm not going to eat carbs anymore. I'm not going to eat sweets anymore. I'm not going to drink soda anymore, whatever. But we stop ourselves and we make excuses for it. For me, it's stress, or I just need a quick fix, or dopamine, or whatever, But the fact is, going back to the topic, you have the choice to choose who you end up with or who you date, okay? Unless you live in a culture where there's arranged relationships and marriages and things of that nature. But you cannot get surprised when the person you're with lets you down or cheats on you or whatever, or just doesn't treat you how you should be treated, okay? You only have yourself to blame, all right? And then we see what happens a step further, and I almost feel like I want to do another video topic on this because it deserves its own topic, but I'll touch on it in just a moment. Is now, let's say you're with that person and now you're pregnant, okay, because you didn't use protection, right? Because that's not cool, right? Using protection. So now you have a kid, okay? Now the kid probably doesn't have a father in their life. Now you, as the mother, have to basically pick up the slack and keep that child alive and do whatever you have to do to make money to keep yourself and the child alive. Something you weren't even planning on, but because you decided to go be with some jerk, some asshole, okay? Now your life is completely turned upside down forever, okay? I just don't understand why this keeps happening over and 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 just never stops. And then here's the other thing. People say, well, people make mistakes. Yeah. You know what mistakes are? Things you're supposed to learn from so you don't do them again. Okay? But then how many times do we see the same people keep hooking up or dating or having kids with the wrong people over and over and over and over and over? And the thing with people getting married and then divorcing, getting married again, divorcing, getting married again, divorcing. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? you are just adding so much unnecessary drama to your life. Okay? Now, someone in the comments would probably be like, "Hey, well, you don't know what people are going through, so you can't judge them." Fine. That's fine. I don't have to know every little thing, but the common trend, the common thread is the same thing. When someone approaches you and is like, "Hey, you're hot. We should go out." Chances are that's probably not somebody you're gonna, end up in a lifetime relationship with. Okay, I could elaborate more on the cheesy pickup lines and stuff like that, but they also say that women in general are looking for a guy that's confident. Okay, that's great, but being overly confident, being cocky, being super arrogant and ignorant, that's where it crosses the line. Okay? When I think of someone who is confident, I think of someone who thinks highly of themselves, takes care of themselves, okay? And also has respect for people as well. Okay? That is something that I feel like just flies right out the window these days. Okay? There's just more assholes out there than ever. Okay? Especially with the internet and phones and apps and shit like that. I feel bad for people that make these bad choices, but today we're focusing on the women, okay? Like I said, women with a guy, women with a girl, or women with a girl, women with women, whatever. You get what I'm saying here, okay? I feel bad because it's like, how are you not smart enough to realize what you're doing is wrong? And it's not gonna end well for anyone. It really is upsetting. Like I said, especially now when kids are involved. We've all grown up with a friend or a family member or someone who had a single parent. Or, like my uncle, he was raised by his grandparents. And you see that a lot too. It's not the grandparents' job to raise the kid's kid. But it happens because they're responsible. Look, I could talk about this all day. But my point here is I don't feel bad when someone intentionally goes with the wrong person and does it over and over and over. If it happens once, it happens once. Like I said, that's what I feel bad about. It's like you made a bad choice, but you're supposed to learn from it, not keep repeating the same thing over and over and over. And then when they go back with someone who treated them badly, and again, I know there are those situations where you might say, well, the guy was threatening to harm the girl if she broke up with him or harm her family. That's when you get police involved. You have to. And then they say, well, the girl was afraid to report it. Don't be afraid. That's what the police are there to do, to help get you out of a bad situation like that. If the guy's in jail, he can't do anything. Okay? But the fact is this. Can you relate to what I'm talking about? Are you someone that's gone through this? Or do you know someone who's gone through this? Let me know in the comments section. My only request for comments is please be respectful. That's it. All I'm going to say. So, let me know your thoughts down below. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you. Let's see if we can get one like, just one. And leave a comment saying END 404, 404, END 404. Just lets me know you made it to the end. Make sure to subscribe if you like rants like this. Turn on that notification bell. Join the notification squad. It's free. We all love free stuff, right? So, with that being said, everybody, you are awesome. You are worth it. All right? Remember that. Know your worth. Know your value. And that's all I got to say for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves and each other. And we'll see you next time right here on phatguywithawebcam.com. Peace, guys. Later.